Hello everybody and welcome back to the JSRC Stuff channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Wing Wing Z84 and the SNL Owl Autopilot. Now I'm going to try and split them up slightly. More specific SNL Owl stuff will be towards the end of the video, if I remember during editing of this very basic video, which is basically just going to be a black screen, and I'm going to you're going to listen to my wondrous tones as I talk to you. Yeah, but the timestamp when I go more into the SNL Owl stuff towards the end will be on the screen now, hopefully, if I remembered. If not, it'll be in a comment or the description or something, but we'll see. If I haven't done it, yell at me in the comments. Anyway, so I almost want to apologise to the Z84, Wing Wing Z84. I bought that model on a whim when it was super cheap. I think it was less than 20 quid on Hobby King. It sat in a box for many years. I nearly sold it. I nearly just binned it at one point. I then decided that I was going to use it as a test bed, but it won't be used as a test bed. That's what it was built as. But I'm not going to change anything because it is the most brilliant flying wing I have ever flown FPV. It's fantastic. I think it was good. That's the reason I bought it, but it was so cheap, on the recommendation from Matthew Ogborn of Ragden Nuts Off fame. But my God, it's good. And especially now that smaller wings have come more into vogue. Now, could you possibly make this model 250 grams? Possibly. I don't know. I don't care. But if you look at something like the Dart 250G, this is so impressive. It's not that much bigger than the Dart 250. You can have a look at wingspans and stuff, I'm sure, on Banggood or wherever. But, my God. So I think the C1 Chase and the Wing Wing Z84 are the same thing. Are they the same thing? We'll Google it. We'll Google it now. Fire up MacBook. Come on. I have a MacBook in a stand now that I use as a desktop as well. But means that if I want to go downstairs and use it in the workshop, I unplug one cable and take it downstairs. Why the dock is up there, we will never know. Let's messenger quit unexpectedly. Okay. Let's have a look for Wing Wing Z84. Come back. Z84. Oh, pardon me. No, the C1 Chaser. I want the Dart 250G just so I can compare things. Oh, that came out with a battery. It's a bit weird. Dart. Oh. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the Dart 250 has a 570mm wingspan. The Wing Wing Z84 is 845. And the C1 Chaser is actually bigger at 1200. Okay, and they have other ones up from there. Like they have the 78 Buffalo, whatever it's called. Anyway, that's expensive though. The kit of the Wing Wing is like 62 quid. Which actually, now I've flown it, I'd pay 62 quid for that model. It's fantastic. But anyway, yeah. So just to go over what's in there. So it was a £20 model. And this does frequently go on sale. In fact, let me check Hobby King and see if it's what price it is there, because that's where I bought it from. They seem to have it on sale a lot more than Bang Balls do. Z84 kit on sale now, £25 for 40. Only from Global, not from the UK, but again, 25 quid. All right. Now this model, not meant for FPV. So it's a £25 kit, and sadly, of course, if you're getting it from Global, you're going to have to pay a bit to ship it. 25 quid plain, less than £10 motor, £8.50 speed controller, two £2.50 servos. So yeah, 2220 2200 kV. pretty standard motor back a few years ago. 30 amp speed controller, the Hobby King Blue. Again, like £8.50. Two of the Race Star MG90s for like £2.50. And then receiver of your choice. I have the TBS, not Discovery. Is it called Discovery? TBS Crossfire. TBS Discovery, is that a thing? The TBS Discovery, I think, is a thing. I think, yeah, that's that quadcopter. TBS Crossfire single special edition, I think it's like 22 quid. That's also to get it flying again. You can have, if you're not flying FPV, you can have a Free Sky, one of their little 4 channels for like 20 quid again. So what's that? 25, 35. We'll say it's a 10 to 45. 43. We've been chucking some servos, make that about right. 43. So for about 65 quid, excluding batteries, but again, they're like less than £10 each for S2200 turnages. So 65 quid you have a model, and then you can buy batteries at like £10 each to fit in it. And all this stuff just went together and balanced perfectly. And then on top of that, I added one of my cheapo, no-name Banggood HS1177 cameras, or whatever they are. They're like £12.50 when I've bought them. They are a bit more expensive now. One of these TX256 or whatever it is video transmitters, again less than £10, usually about £7 or £8. An Aeon, one of the Aeon Way cloverleaf antennas, again I think they're like £8 for 2, so £4 there. You got an FPV system, and installing the FPV system in this was ridiculously easy. I just tied out the video transmitter on top of the canopy. Had to cut a little bit of the canopy out for the battery for the 3S, because it does recommend like a 2S 1500. And then a mixture of an easy camera shape, a sharp blade, and easy to cut foam. The camera went in brilliantly. If you watch the build video of me building this plane, I was amazed at how easily I managed to get the camera installed and decently, and looking decent. But yeah, fantastic. For about £100 without a flight controller, you can get this model for FPV. Now, the way I had it set up, if you don't have a flight controller, you're going to need to turn the rates down. The fact that I had such high rates saved me. I'll go on to the flight controller a bit. It is 99% good. If anything, it's my own fault that ruined the 1%. And this model, it pulls about 12 amps, 12, 13 amps full throttle on a 6x4 prop. Cheapo e-sheen props. You can buy them on eBay for £2 delivered for 4. It's got one of them on the back of it. Probably the reason why it pulls so low amps is they are a bit crappy and probably twist out a bit, but plenty of oomph to climb. You're cruising around below half throttle. On the 3S2200. Fairly standard batteries. And if you wanted to, I'm sure there's room in there. In fact, I think in the build video I checked it for room. You can have a 3S lithium-ion. Based off of the amps, you may need, for lots of full throttle, you may need some more slightly higher amperage cells. I've got some 3020 amps. They'd be brilliant. The ones that I've got in 3S ones at the minute, I think the best ones are 3600s at 10 amps. And just considering this pulls 12 amp full throttle, and you don't really use full throttle that often, that'll be fine. Again, I'm just really impressed compared to trying to squeeze 3S into the Dart 250, and I'm going to do a video on the Dart 250's issues. But this one, you could have, on its maiden flight, I had 2.5 kilometers because I was trying to test it because I was having issues with the drift doing less than half of that. It was on 1.3 and Crossfire, and I had the Easy Glider go in on 1.3 and Crossfire, 3 feet away from me basically on its maiden flight. Again, videos on that on the channel. It's set off. Fantastic. And of course we have the £65 of SNLL. And hello to all of you who are here joining me for the SNLL. Hopefully I'll cut this out, but I'm doing it for editing reasons. Nothing happened then I edited it properly. If you heard me clapping, there we are, that's what I was doing. The SNLL, what can I say about it? The on-screen display, amazing. It's so clear. It says it's a HD autopilot, or on-screen display. Personally, I'd prefer if it was a little more in the corner. It's a little bit towards the middle of the screen, and I apologise for having picked. Right, at some point there, things cut out, so I apologise. I was talking about the on-screen display, which is incredibly clear. Fantastic text, really easy to see. It's not very in the corners. It seems a little bit more towards the center. It could do with being spread out towards the corners a little bit more. But also the way it refreshes, it's kind of like if you've ever played video games and you've played a high refresh rate, 144 hertz versus 60 or whatever, is that kind of feeling. It's just so smooth. Or if you're maybe of the slightly older generation, and you're back and you're used to things being on film, the soap opera effect of things looking smooth, it's that kind of thing. But when you're flying, it's very nice. It feels a lot more real time, less digital, and more like it's just happening. It updates as fast as it can update, as opposed to being once every second, half second, quarter of a second, whatever it is on some others. And overall, yeah, it's a shame you can't get hold of it. You have got the SNL Plus, which is slightly bigger, but runs the same hardware, same OSD by the looks of it. That looks brilliant. It does look maybe slightly different. That's 60 quid. I can't fully vouch for that. It does look like you set stuff via the controller as well, which is a little bit weird. But no, I really like the SNL Owl, and which was easy to get hold of. It's a case of, am I going to get another one now I get on with iNav? Possibly not. But I really recommend it. It's just nice, and it'll be a nice, refreshing model. And all I've got to do on that model now to get it ready to go and always work is turn the aileron down. It'd be brilliant. It'd be one of my favourite models. A limitation with this, and again is another reason why I see iNav a lot more in my future, is the fact that you can mount this facing forward, backwards, left or right, but you can't mount it on its side, mount it upside down. They've changed it in iNav 3.0, so it's not as easy to do, but I believe via CLI you can. Excuse me. Rotate the flight control, say sideways, so you've got a really thin model. I'm looking at the Mini Skywalker, the older one, not the blue one, but the older one. That, I'd probably like the flight control mount on its side if I can. The 411 is so small it might not be a problem. But if I could do that, that would be nice. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this model. I'm not sure if I said this already, because again, the video cut out for no reason. If you're looking at a Dart 250G, and you're not bothered about it being 250 grams, and you're not bothered about it being slightly bigger and the wings can't come off, I'd say get this. It's the better buy. By the time you bought all the stuff, it's cheaper. It's about £10 cheaper. Although shipping, of course, may take that away. But honestly, it's a better model than the Dart 250. It doesn't have its major drawbacks. I'll go into the drawbacks, some of the issues that I'm having with the Dart 250 in a separate video. But, there's 3 things that you want out of a model. And the Dart can only really hit 2. And you have to sacrifice the 3rd, whereas this will do all 3. As I say, I did 2.5 kilometers on 1,000 milliamps. I did have a 2200 battery there, but it was a bit of an old battery. I wasn't sure what nick it was in, but I did 2.5 kilometers on 1,000 milliamps. So, is it going to be the most long range in the world? Not unless you stick some real serious batteries in there. Also, to be fair, I did 2.5 kilometers in quite strong headwind. So again, we'll do some more experiments with it. There's no HD video on there. You could have one of either the hybrid cameras or split cameras. I might do that to this one. There's no really in the front to do it. And the 3S2200 just sits in the front, all the way up to the front, perfectly. It was, considering it was a plane that's designed for like a 2S 1500, and non-FPV. The fact that I put everything together and it just balanced was amazing. Compared to, say, the Talon Pro or the Mini Talon T, or whatever you want to call it, where I've got like a full strip of lead in the front and the battery has to like be under the front, and I'm still concerned it's going to be tail heavy and crash. And that's meant to be FPV, supposedly. Is it a different matter? Well, anyway, that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, like. Helps me a lot. Remember to subscribe. I do videos like this. I'm trying to do Tuesday and Friday. There's a lot of Monday videos at the moment, just because I've got the extra space and time in the space-time continuum. But yeah, upshot is buy both of these products. You get an SNL, buy one. If you get a Z84, just do it. Just do it. If you have a Dart 215, a little frustrated with its things, get a Z84. It's slightly bigger, but brilliant. Maybe not your first model, but second or third, yes, go get it. If you fly it without a flight controller, turn down the rates a little bit. Otherwise, get a co-pilot if you really want to, although I'm going off of them more and more. Get iNav and follow Painting 360 tutorial, or get, as I say, an SNL. The on-screen is spun. It's just mind-blowing. Why others aren't like that, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.